All right, section 2.6, we're going to talk about skewness with the mean and the median. We're not going to worry about the mode. Okay, so symmetrical. Basically, if I can draw a line in the middle and it's a mirror image of each other, then it's symmetrical. But if we've got, you gotta notice this wording right here, perfectly symmetrical distribution, that's when your mean and your median are going to be exactly the same number. Okay, so if we look at this, I've got one bar in the middle, and then if you notice these two bars on the side, they're exactly the same height. The two bars on the side, exactly the same height, and same thing here. So if I cut this right in the middle, then it would be an exact mirror image of each other. So this would be an example of perfectly symmetrical distribution. Now say that this bar right here went up to about, we'll say about there. Okay. Well, if you compare this one to this one, they're pretty close to each other. And if I cut this in half, it's pretty much a mirror image of each other. It's still symmetrical, it's just not perfectly symmetrical. Okay. So in this, I can say that the mean and the median will be the exact same number because this is a perfectly symmetrical distribution. Okay. Now skewness is going to be not symmetrical. Okay, it's going to extend to one side or the other like it does here. Now if all your data is to the left, and it's actually backwards, it's skewed to the right. If all your data is to the right, then it's skewed to the left. That's just the reason why they say skew to the left when all your data is to the right. We don't have to worry about that one. Okay, so if we're working with skew to the left, that means all of our data, or most of our data, is to the right. It says here that the mean is 6.3 and the median is 6.5. Don't worry about the mode. Okay, so if I graph that 6.3, that's about, let's say about there, and this is the mean, and then 6.5, that's the median. Okay. Now, a little trick that I learned when I was taking statistics is if you look at where your graph starts to where it ends, and you find pretty much halfway of that line, that's going to be your mean. Okay? So halfway from this line on this graph, that's going to be your mean. Now, to find your median, you look at the two highest bars, so right here, and go halfway between them. So it starts here to here, halfway would be right here, and that's always going to be your median. Okay? So remember that your mean includes all of your numbers in your data set, so it's really affected by outliers, whereas your median, it doesn't look at all the numbers, it just takes the middle two just to make sure that your data is in order if you're going to try to find the median. Okay? So since your mean is affected by every single number, the lower numbers here are actually making this mean be pulled in this direction, whereas your median is not affected by that. Okay, now skew to the right. Now if we just look at from here all the way to right here and go about in the middle, about here. So since I was in the middle of the whole graph, that's the mean. Okay, look at your two highest bars. Go in the middle of those. That's going to be your median. Okay, now come over here. Your mean is 7.7. That's pretty close to 8, like we have here. And the median is 7.5. That's exactly what we had right here. Okay, so here your mean is being pulled in this direction over here because of these values. Okay, so if it is skewed to the left or to the right, that's basically not symmetrical. If it is perfectly symmetrical, that's when your mean is going to be equal to your median. If it's just symmetrical, then they're probably not going to be equal to each other. Okay. And you can also call this negatively skewed. So all of our data is to the right. So this is skewed to the left, or negatively skewed. Positively skewed, all your data is to the left. So this is skewed to the right. Okay. And this is just showing you, based on the skewness, where your mode, your median, and your mean would fall. But remember, we don't worry about the mode. Just worry about the median and the mean. Okay. And this is generalizing what I just said here. Okay. If it is skewed to the left, your mean is less than the median. It's a takeaway from right there. If it is skewed to the right, then your median is less than your mean. And that's about it for this section.